Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. My screen is kind of like murky, but oh well. Good evening, everybody. I'm tired. What's going on, people? Okay. Hello, Miss Lickfinger. How are you? I thought about you today. I'm not even kidding. I got home. I looked in my fridge. I was like, "I'm on my zobo." So like, I don't have zobo drink anymore. So please help me start. Yeah. So please help me start my order. You already know the quantity, so because I got one bottle left. I got one bottle left, and the baby's coming back home this weekend, so you already know that I would need food. So please, hi everyone. Online, been looking out for you. Okay, Kimbo Sheo. It wasn't me. Hi everybody. Happy Thursday. It feels like I just saw y'all like 2 minutes ago on Tuesday, and now we're in Thursday. Anyway. Okay, thanks. So send me a message if you don't mind. But I have only one Zoba drink left. And you know how you have one thing that you really like, and you have just one more left, and you put it at the back of the refrigerator. In this case, I don't have to worry because my American kids are like, I'm like, what the heck is this? It's like, never mind. I don't know where this month is rushing to. I'm telling you. I mean, it was June 1st, like yesterday, like 19 days ago. Yeah. And now here we are. But anyway, hi everybody. This is Attorney Adebola Olale. I love that. Immigration attorney based in Alabama. Where are we getting plantain chips? Talking of plantain chips, does anyone know where you can get is it ipekere or is it ikpe or igbe? Someone, one of the two. Those long plantain chips. You know, back in the day, and when I say back in the day, Miss Lickfinger and Miss Eleanor Sanctuary, not y'all. Y'all are still young. Like back in the day, y'all who were born in the 70s, all of us born in the 70s that went to boarding school. I don't know if they still do it, but whenever you're going through um going interstate, when you get to the toll places or whatever, all those people that had things that they sell pickering, they sell at the toll gates. I can you tell I went to the boarding school? That's what I'm asking. Where can you get it in the US? If y'all in Texas don't know where it's sold, then nobody knows. Because y'all in Texas, y'all just have all kind of American. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for, the long ones. If anyone knows where we can get, where I can get it, please let me know. See, I'm a foodie. I'm a food. What can I say? That's why I was like, listen, I'm not in the business of what's that TikTok trend? Count me out of flat tummy and like I can do it. But this is welcome everyone. So we do these live shows Tuesdays and Thursdays. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Alabama time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And wherever else your time zone is, just got to figure that out. But welcome in. This is a positive space. So for those who don't know, that's what we tend to promote and just encourage one another, because there are a whole lot of platforms for negativity. That's your thing. That's fine. It's not here. And I represent immigration clients in all states. And when I tell you literally that I get that question every single day, and a lot of people even during consultation, because and people get confused when I say, I can represent immigration case, but I cannot represent, divorce case. So he's like, okay, because the reason is immigration is federal practice. So federal practice is not limited to you being in one state, licensed in one state. Then that means you can do just like trademark immigration is that way as well. But divorce issues are state specific, so the person has to be licensed in your state. So immigration cases, we can represent you regardless of where you live. So if we can help you in your immigration case, if you are on Facebook or YouTube, our contact information is on the screen. Ms. Eleanor Sanctuary has been kind enough to put that on Instagram for us. TikTok family, how y'all doing? Our contact number is 334-341-4475, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Same number on WhatsApp. You can text us. We do not take calls on WhatsApp. It's only for text messages. And you can call us. Old-fashioned phone calls work during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. After hours, you'll get someone that will text you back. So we got you covered. All right. Let's talk immigration. And don't forget to share, follow, like, subscribe YouTube channel at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 on all platforms. That will be very much appreciated. Hello, Larry. How are you? Let's talk immigration. Okay, so y'all already know. So we're gonna have a very short topic. I just wanted to bring some information about. Oh, that's me. That's not the spelling. Let's see. It's not Dada. It's Daca. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, there we go. Okay, so on Tuesday, President Biden, gave a speech about his new immigration policy that is going to provide the equivalent of a legal entry to hundreds of thousands of people that came in without inspection. And one of the questions we've had from so many people within the last 48 hours is, okay, he also mentioned about Daca recipients. What about them? What is it that is going to provide, this policy going to provide for them? So far, this is what we know so far. And if you don't know what DACA is for children people who were under a certain age, as of 2007, I don't want to get it wrong, but 2007, 2012, you had entered by, I don't want to get it wrong, but it was for certain people who had entered at a certain time and were under a certain age that will qualify for deferred action. Basically, that you would not be placed in deportation. You would not be, you can also apply for advanced parole based on specific reasons and be able to come back in spite of being, even if you had already been placed in deportation, you're not going to be removed from the country. So a lot of young people, they call them dreamers, are on the DACA status, quote unquote DACA status. And President Biden included that in this policy he just released on Tuesday. And we've been getting questions as to, okay, how is that going to work? Does my child qualify? Because there's so many immigrants who've got the kids on DACA and they'll be able to get the status and renew work permit, but it doesn't lead to permanent residency. So in this new policy that was released, this is what I can tell you so far. So if you've got a kid or a young adult now that has been in DACA for many, many years, this is what they qualify for, or they will qualify for. There isn't, there's no provision right now that can change. Keep in mind, very, very important, the policy is not in effect yet. Let me stress that again. The policy is not in effect yet. A whole lot can still happen before then. It's anticipated that it's going to go into effect at the end of the summer season. So, just before election time, y'all already know, they know what they're doing. But once it goes into effect and it's not challenged and it's effective, DACA recipients, basically what it's going to entail for them is the ability to get a specific waiver where if they go to the consulate, embassy to apply for instance, they will get a specific waiver that allows them to now be eligible to apply for certain non-immigrant work visas. An example will be if you've got someone who is your child or if you're a young adult that you are a DACA recipient and you have an employer that is willing to sponsor you on an H-1B visa, for example, then you will qualify as a DACA recipient based on this law and policy. You will qualify for a waiver of your a waiver that would prevent you, a waiver that would help you. What's the word I'm looking for? For lack of a better phrase, get over the inadmissibility issue of you being here unlawfully. And that waiver, so right now there's a D3 kind of waiver that a lot of DACA recipients is hard. It's discretionary. Many consular officers do not recommend it. And sometimes you don't know if you're going to, well, not sometimes, you don't know if you're going to get it until you leave, and then you're at their mercy. If this policy goes into effect, the goal is to allow a better kind of waiver that's going to now that would pave the way for DACA recipients, so that they will have, if they have an employer to sponsor them on an H-1B visa, for instance, and they've got that job, they do it. They apply for the petition. Their petition is approved. Because they cannot change status in the country, when they go to an embassy to now apply for the H-1B stamp, in conjunction with that stamp, they will also apply for that waiver that will be granted and adjudicated by the same consular officer. And part of this policy is going to aid in making sure that those waivers are expedited, and so they're not waiting for the waivers to be approved before you not get your visa stamp. Once you get that visa stamp, once you get a waiver approved, you get the visa stamp, such as an H-1B visa. You come back in, as long as you've got no other inadmissibility issue as a DACA recipient, you come back in, and because you not come back in with a legal document, meaning you're coming on a non-immigrant work visa, that keeps you in that status. If you maintain that status and the employer decides to file a perm application for you, a perm application basically is a permanent green card process, or you do a self-petition, then you now become eligible as a DACA recipient to adjust status in the country and no longer have to be subject to that unlawful presence that the DACA status gives you, because it doesn't give you a way to actually apply for a green card. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is it's going to be geared towards DACA recipients being eligible to apply to be granted a waiver of the unlawful presence that has prevented them, or illegal entry that has prevented them from being able to change status to other non-immigrant work visas, or being able to get permanent sponsorship by employers. They will have access to that waiver. And as long as they have an employer willing to sponsor them, H-1B visa, L-1 visa, whatever the case may be, and they come back in on the legal status, the non-immigrant work visa, that opens up an avenue for them to now look into adjusting status eventually without having to deal with indefinite, DACA status. Yes, you don't get placed in deportation, but it doesn't still give you anything as far as a permanent solution and getting a permanent status. I hope that makes sense. I mean, does that make sense? That's the best way I can explain that. So DACA recipients are not addressed directly when it comes to the family-based family section of the policy. Family section is basically that if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you came in illegally, then you're able to apply for this parole in place. Now, if you are a DACA recipient and you're also a stepchild of that U.S. citizen spouse that your parent is married to, then you will also benefit from that parole in place. So that can actually absorb you as DACA recipient, depending on if your parent is married to a U.S. citizen and they qualify for that parole in place, and I think you have to be under the age of 21, and unmarried. So just that's that in a nutshell. So I hope that makes sense, because I had so many people send us messages on social media asking, okay, can you have explain on DACA recipient and all that. So that's for DACA recipients. It's more geared towards the employment route. If they also are stepkids under the age of 21 of U.S. citizen spouses, then that's another avenue for them to look into. The most important thing right now is that none of those, because you already know, the people who really don't want immigrants to be here, they've already started opposing it. So the most important thing is hopefully they do not oppose this thing and just let it be. But it is yet to be seen. So that's that in a nutshell. I hope that makes sense. Y'all, does it make sense? Y'all understand? If not, that's it. And that's all she wrote, people. So if you have the need for a much more detailed or more specific explanation as far as your specific situation, then that's something we can do over, a paid consultation, so you can have your specific questions answered. But that's that. So as time goes on, and then when they roll out this policy in full effect, we'll be able to know exactly what the requirements are, who qualifies for it, because everything is going to still be case by case. So we're just hoping everything goes as planned. Nobody decides they want to. Hello, Mr. Maggi. No one decides they want to cancel that out. They want to take the Biden administration to court. Let's just see how things go and keep praying. All right. That's it, people. That's it. Let's get to, let me take this off. Hold on one second. Okay. Hi, Miss Savannah. How are you? So questions. Let's do questions real quick. Keep in mind, general information, general responses to your questions. If you have anything specific that we need to discuss, we can always do that over a paid consultation. Hi, Miss Giwa. How are you? It's Thursday, though. It feels like Tuesday, right? It actually does feel like Tuesday, because it just feels like we're talking yesterday, but it's Thursday. Even I know that. Hello, Miss Mary. Welcome back. Thank you. It's good to be back. And yes, once again, we go live every Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please share. Share video. Because really a lot of people benefit from it, and that really is rewarding. So you just never know, because not everybody's going to be able to afford consultation. If they're able to sit down and watch some of these videos and it helps, why not? Hello, Tutola. How are you? Any update about VAR? What update about VAR? What are you expecting about VAR? Okay, good to know, Miss Mary. Let's see. Hello, Lynette. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in. And again, if you're just, hello, Island Girl. How are you? All right, let's see. Okay. Let me go to TikTok. Let me do Instagram. Or you go last on Instagram. Let's do Instagram first today. And please don't refrain from duplicating your questions. That would be really, very, really helpful. Let's see. Big Finger says she thinks about it every time. I bet she's always thinking that Auntie Kekere is going to my butt. There you go. What can I say? It is what it is. At least it's going somewhere. Hello, Vicky. How are you? Natively _ trained. How are you? Okay. Yeah, it's quicker. They have it at Publix? No, are you for real? They actually have it at Publix. That would be something. So what matter, Quintani? Let's see. Okay. If a person The person married to a U.S. citizen, they stay together, and the U.S. citizen wants to file for her unmarried 21-year-old child. Can he petition for that child? He can petition for the child as long as they can show um what's it called, a relationship between them. Um, so that's something that can be done. I saw your video on NIW. Is there no grounds for waiver for an approved NIW application for someone that has overstayed beyond 180 days? At this point, no. Specifically for that, no. At this point, and unfortunately, will traffic ticket for no insurance affect the outcome of N400? It should not if you've taken care of it, meaning you have paid the fine and you've got insurance now before you apply for your citizenship application. That should, as long as you've shown that you've taken steps to correct that issue, then you should be fine. Generally information, I don't know about your case, but generally that's what it is. Hey, Mama. My mother is on. Y'all say hi to my mama. That's I did 163. My asylum has been pending since 2016. Kindly advise accordingly, please. Sit down with a lawyer to find out what your options are. Hello, Finest Shandy. How are you? My day was great, Island Girl. How was yours? Okay. Can you travel on your 2-year green card to your home country? Generally, yes. I'm not unless there's something that makes you afraid to go. It's not asylum where because you don't get a 2 year from asylum year from marriage or employment. So generally, you can. I'm not telling you to go and try because when people ask questions like that, I feel there's more to what you're asking, and there's a whole lot more that you can say publicly. So that's the best answer I can give you. But if you have any specific concerns, then you may want to sit down with the lawyer to discuss. Do you do 5 minutes consultation? I only have one question. Are you really asking that kind of I don't even I mean, do you do 5 minute consultation? Okay. Please share the live and please do not repeat the questions. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. Let me read her response to the person who asked about 5 minutes consultation. You can do 30 minutes and you'll be surprised it won't even be enough for your one question. There's never, and it's never one question. That much I can guarantee you. It's never one question. That person that says they have one question has about 3-4 questions. I'm not really sure why people always think you want to chipping out of something that affects your life. I don't get it. It's just like trying to get a bargain on trying to find who can give you a bargain on a major surgery that you have to have. That's just me. Yeah, but anyway. Are you dealing with reinstatement of I-27s for F1 visa that has already been terminated but got admission to another school, but his I-20 needs? We do reinstatement, but I can tell you if I'm going to take your case until we've had a chance to discuss your case in the paid consultation. Okay. And if we can help you, you can set up the fastest way to schedule a consultation is through our website, olalayalawfirm.com. Fastest way. You don't have to speak to nobody, just bam, bam, bam. It's very, very quick, really. So, yeah. Can I join the military with an expired green card? That's going to be a question for the military. But as long as you've got proof of your status, I don't see any reason why not, but I cannot tell you what the military is going to accept. We have 1 minute. Finest Shandy. Alumma Numbailin. The person that was asking about traveling on 2-year green card, Island Gal just shared her own experience. That she said I traveled quite a few times on my 2 years. No, I had no issues. So there you go. 5 minutes consultation is $200. It's one question with A, B, C. God knows where all of you live. Okay. How much will it cost if I need to reinstate right now? That's something I discussed in the consultation. I don't have fixed rates for people. Okay. All right. Let's see. TikTok. Let's go. You can get it in Jersey or New York. I can imagine where a lot of immigrants in New York and New Jersey. I just need to buy. Can you buy it on Amazon? Like, do they sell it here on Amazon? Does anyone know? African stores, I know, but the problem is, and I think I've said it so many times, I don't have any African store near me. So that's why when I go to cities that have a lot of immigrants, like, y'all don't even know. You should see me in an African restaurant because I don't live near one. I think the closest to me will probably be even with thinking of from probably 3. I'm not even sure it's going to be in Birmingham. 3-4 hours away. Yeah, I live in the country. Like, so, I mean, last week in Chicago, the very first night when I know I'm gonna see African restaurant, and that's how I found Bolat. My ex-husband actually recommended Bolat, in Northside Chicago. I was like, I'm not even kidding you, yo. I ate my eyes out. I ate my eyes. I was like, and I had to get up to do conference the next day. So I was like, oh, Talora Misha. So yeah, I don't have access to it where I live. So, but thank God for Lick Finger. She takes care of me. She yeah, because they're auntie. She understands. When I place my order, she's like, yeah, I understand. Like, but then sometimes like, who's going to eat all of this? Mind your business. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. What happens when 2 undocumented immigrants get married? Does the U.S. consider giving them papers? No. Thank you, Miss Mackie. Can you travel on valid conditional green card if you're divorced? If you're divorced, nothing stops you from traveling generally. On that, unless there's something you're worried about. Now, I'll say this though, because I currently have a client in deportation proceedings that traveled on their conditional green card, and when they came in, they were the CBP officer really drilled them and questioned the heck out of them and made them write statements almost admitting that yes, they because they had some text in their phone as if they had married their American spouse just for papers, and actually referred them to immigration court for fraud. So yeah, so just it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. And in that situation, I think he had gone through a divorce. Either it was separated or divorced, something. So just know that if I say that to say, is there something that's happened? Maybe your spouse had threatened you, they called immigration on you, trying to get there. Because as much as I represent immigrants, I also get calls from spouses, petitioners, from citizens who found papers for someone. We actually got 2 of those kind of calls today, letting us know that they want to find out how they can get USCIS to strip their spouses of their green card because they felt like the spouses used them for a green card. And I just politely tell them that I'm sorry they feel that way. Told my assistant, tell them we're sorry they feel that way, but that's not what I do. I don't help to take the green card back from people. I help to give them the green card. I'm not saying that it's okay for them. If you feel that way, they're validated in their feelings, but it's just not what I do. So just note that if you've got that kind of issue in your marriage, just to be aware of that you just never know. Can your U.S. citizen kid, 15 years, file for either parents outside the U.S.? No, your child has to be 21. Do you handle EB2 green cards? Yes, I do, Wally. But right now, I'm capped at what I'm accepting. We've got quite a bit that needs to go out. So, can a permanent resident person file for his or her spouse here in the United States? The person can file because what your spouse is going to be filing is just the I-130. If you're trying to figure out if the spouse that they're filing for can get a green card in the country, the question is that spouse still in status? If the spouse is not in status, then that spouse cannot apply to get a green card based on marriage to a green card holder until that green card holder becomes a citizen, where they're now exempt from the unlawful presence bar, or they have to file a waiver, 601A waiver, and then consular process. What happens if you come in visitor visa, cannot apply for a new executive order? There's no executive order to apply for. And just to be clear, this new policy is not applicable to those who came in legally. It's not. It's not applicable if you came in with a visa, plane by a foreign passport. You want you need B1 B2 visitor visa that's good for 5 years. What stamp when it came out and you didn't go back? This doesn't apply to you. This is for those who came in without inspection, no visa stamp, no parole, nothing, crossed the border, came in, no paperwork. Those are the people this applies for. Another way to look at it is it's going to put them in a position as if they came in with a visa stamp. That's basically what this is doing. It's putting the spouses of citizens and eligible stepchildren in a position as if they had come into the country with a visa stamp, and then they get that I-94 given to them based on the parole in place. But unlike those who have now come into the U.S. with say, for instance, with a visitor visa that's not expired, and you can't work on that, this parole in place will allow the spouses to actually apply for work authorization and eventually be able to file for green card down the road. Listen, they know what they're doing. As long as it helps people, that's great. But this is something that Biden could have done 3 years ago when he first came into office. Because if you tell someone who is a citizen that that has been worried about their family members being stuck outside the country, because that happens a lot, if they attempt to go apply for an immigrant visa, even with a waiver at the embassy, consular officer tells them, well, there's another issue besides unlawful presence and you're stuck out there. If you tell that person that they don't have to worry about their spouse leaving anymore, and the spouse can stay here and your family is reunited and they're not going to worry about being placed in deportation proceedings, obviously that person is going to vote for you. So the incentive here also is for those citizens that will benefit by their spouses being here and not having to leave. Obviously, I'm going to vote for that kind of person that wants to keep my family together. So everyone gets something out of this. It is what it is. So let's see. Hello, Miss Amina. How are you? Okay. User whatever. See, that's just the coward. Those are the cowards that come in. The one thing about the internet is it allows people who are really coward cowards to actually hide behind their screen, they can be seen and type nonsense. So this person says Trump train will lead the largest deportation in history. They're going to start with your family. So out you go. Because at the end of the day, you are also from somewhere. You just took over somebody else's land. So, and that's why you can't use a real name and use a something. There you go. Go get on your Trump train. Alrighty. First time joining from Ontario, Danny Prince, welcome. I just feel that I-824 form, but they didn't receive the I-824. Okay, so what's your question? What city do you live in? My office is in Demopolis, Alabama. So my office is located in Alabama. Can a newly naturalized U.S. citizen file for? Oh, I missed that. Hold on. Oh, where did that question go? What happened? Can a newly naturalized U.S. citizen file for his children under 18 living abroad to become a U.S. citizen? You can file for them to become a U.S. citizen. You can file for them to get green cards. And once they get your green cards and they come into the country, if they're still under the age of 18, when they come into the country and they have their green card, then they would acquire citizenship through you. Can you kindly look at your inbox? No, I cannot. You have to kindly put your question in the comment section like everybody else. You in Chicago for the immigration lawyer conference? Yes, I was. Is it a lawyer asking? I got a 2-year green card through a step parent when I was a minor. Now my parents are divorced. Can I remove conditions? Yes, you can. No, Mackie, I think they're talking about inbox as far as on TikTok. We already have a message on that. That we don't respond to messages on TikTok. You got to go to Instagram. So everything is streamlined. So if that's the case, that's what you need to do. Or contact our office. Go on our website. You easily contact and Lydia or Ashanti. Somebody will get back with you. Or call us when we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 p.m. Okay. Thank you for the important work. Thank you, Javier. Appreciate that. I just filed for my N400 and is in review. How long does it take to get? That's not a question I can answer. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓. The reason why I'm not answering your question is because you repeated it like 5, 6, 7 times. So I'm going to skip it. Okay. All right. Let me see. The question. Okay. Where the questions go? Let's see. I don't want to miss anyone's questions. So give me 1 second. Okay. There are a lot of African stores online. They will ship it to you. I mean, if it's as long as it's fresh, that's fine. Lick Finger, do you sell? I know you make snacks from scratch, but do you sell like the bakery something? I don't know if you're still on. If you do, let me know. Um, Hargo, Hargo Ola. I represent immigration clients in all states, and I do Zoom consultations. So it doesn't matter that you're in Chicago and I'm in Alabama. It doesn't. But if you need something ASAP, if your ASAP means in less than 30 days, I will tell you that's not something I can help you with. We've got too many cases, and it doesn't matter how much I charge you for expedited preparation. It's not something I can take on at this point. So if that's what you're looking for, then you may go on @ally.org and find an attorney that may help you with your case. Hello, Mr. Chinedu. How are you? Let's see. Sorry, Mr. Manji. No, there's some people that are just naturally sad. There's some people that are just naturally sad, and the only thing we can do for such people is to pray for them. But that's why you can never see them. And those who come out boldly, they never do it on their own. They have to be surrounded by. And listen, when you take a look at someone that is always trying to bring other people down, and you figure out what is going on in their life, that's why, for instance, I don't always I don't always not everybody that you think is going through something deserves your pity, because you just never know what they've done. So yeah. Is it okay to call USCIS field office? You can't call the field office, you can call the toll-free number. Major loves company. They joined the wrong life. I got my citizenship through marriage and got divorced. Can I file for my new spouse? Is that new spouse your ex-spouse? I'm just asking. But yes, you can. Generally, you can. I got my children when I was a minor through a step parent. Well, that's the same person on TikTok. Notice was returned to USCIS because the post office could not deliver it. Please explain what can be done. Contact USCIS. Because if you do an e-request, you're going to need the receipt number, so that's not going to work. So you call USCIS and give them your alien number. They should be able to pull up your case and then request that they send you a duplicate and confirm the address they have on your file, and request that they do. If the address hasn't changed, request that they do send you a duplicate notice. Now, if your address is changed, then you'll be required to update your address through an AR11 form online. So that's what you need to do. Finest Shandy, are you serious? Yeah, they changed the interview dates. I'm so sorry. Booked food for interview. Now you're going to make me want to come down, but I will let you know. You should have called me to pick it. Not your ex-spouse, okay, but ex-spouse, not ex-spouse. Yes, since you're a citizen now. The 5-year rule only applies if you are still a green card holder. Will the parole in place help those who enter with a C1 visa? C1 visa, generally, you cannot change status. You cannot adjust status. But keep in mind that is still a legal entry. We're talking of people without a legal entry. Hello, Miss Tina. How are you? Does the undocumented immigrant include person that enters through the airport, like properly admitted? Did I not just say it does not? Y'all just want. I think you're just playing with me, right? Okay, you are phrasing your question. Thank you. Because I was like, how can this new Biden policy help someone that properly admitted as it doesn't help? It's still the same question you're asking, it's just in a different way. It doesn't help. So there's no way around that. Can my spouse that has been married before but now divorced but got her green card through employment file for me? Employment is fine. That has nothing to do with marriage. They can file for you, but the issue is not whether a green card holder can file for a spouse. A green card holder is eligible to file an I-130 for a spouse. That's not the issue. Most people are trying to find out if I'm married to a green card holder and I've overstayed, can they petition for me? Can I still get a green card from their based on their petition? But if you've overstayed, the question is short answer to that is no. And another set of questions I get is, okay, I'm in a lawful H-1B F1 status. I'm married to a green card holder. When they file for me, can I get a work permit based on an I-130 that's pending? Short answer, no. So one thing about being married to a green card holder is it's not whether or not they can file for you. They can file an I-130 for you. The question is, are you going to be eligible to apply for a green card in the country without having to live? And it would depend on whether or not you are in a valid non-immigrant status. If you're not in a valid non-immigrant status, then you cannot. You don't even have the exemption of 180 days like you have with employment. You just can't. So that's really what that is about. Okay. Let's see. We still have some time to move. Please, what can be done if I-765 being submitted since December and no update till now? If it's still within normal processing time, then you just have to wait unless you've got a basis to ask them to expedite. If anyone gets 10-year green card through VAWA, can the person get married while on green card or needs to become a citizen first? You can get married, but if you're looking to file for someone, the same 5-year rule applies to you even if you got your green card through VAWA. Can I re-enter with an I-551 on my expired visa? On your expired visa, how do you get an I-551 on expired visa? Because your physical card. Oh, I think I understand what you're saying. As long as it's still the I-551 is still valid itself, that's what matters. But I'm not really sure. I don't want to give you the wrong suggestion with the way your question is phrased. How does the Biden issue help asylum seekers? Unless the asylum seeker is someone who came in without inspection, is married to a U.S. citizen, that's how it's going to help them, or fall under those who are Daca recipients. Hello, Blue Trillions. I've been well. How about yourself? I've been doing well. Thank you. Okay. All right, people. I think that's about all the questions we got. Can I expedite my VAWA case after 2 years due to medical emergency? You can try. Yeah. What's the best way to get a green card on the B1, B2 in Nova State? Sit down with a lawyer to figure out your options. If I apply for my citizenship and my daughter is 18, does she automatically get her citizenship? If your daughter is already 18, no, she does not. The child has to be under the age of 18 at the time you are. So once you're sworn in as a citizen, on the day you're sworn in, that child must be less than 18 years old for them to acquire citizenship. If the child is already 18 on the day you're sworn in, then that child has to file for their own citizenship. Has to file their own citizenship application separately. All right. If your 2-year green card expired, can you file for I-751? You're actually supposed to file for I-751 before it expired. So if you haven't filed your I-751, you don't want to risk them sending you a message that terminating your status. Okay. All right. Okay. That's it. That's it. I think that's all the questions, people. Thank you, Miss in the Sanctuary. I entered with immigrant visa with the need to travel out. Can I enter without a green card? Okay. To me, I would say you need to sit down with a lawyer. Don't need this. I cannot give you a yes or no question answer because I don't know anything about your case. And when it comes to things like that, where you've got the it's usually valid for a year for the most part. But I don't know anything about your background. So if it's not me, sit down with a lawyer before you make a travel. That's, I mean, unless if it's not an emergency, why not wait? I've had situations where someone we had to mail my client's green card to them, but that was an emergency. So in your case, I would say just make sure you're doing the right thing before you leave. Brittany, but thank you. Say that. Oh, you did. Thank you. So informed and lovely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Hello, Miss Timiraya. How are you? What's the USCIS website for processing times? USCIS.gov/processing times. What are you looking for? Because I know your case. Okay, I think you're looking at the other case. I think. Okay. Let's see. Walmart card declined. I didn't know till I got to exit. Explained to officer, but he still gave ticket, no court. Maybe due to no basis, only ticket, no. Only ticket number shows online. It's been 2 years. This is Walmart card decline. Okay. Are you saying Fifi, are you saying that you thought you paid for grocery in Walmart, but it turns out you didn't pay and you were stopped and cited for shoplifting or petty theft or something? Is that what you're saying? Okay. I hope you have a lawyer in your case. If not, sit down with one and let them see what, because it depends on what it is you were charged with in your state. It may fall within petty offense as long as it's not, CIMT, aggravated felony, which it wouldn't be aggravated felony. But if it's a citation, depending on what's the potential punishment may be. So it's not. So, okay, so if you already asked someone in your state and they said no basis, that's fine. Keep in mind, however, that because a criminal defense attorney told you that it's no basis, it doesn't mean it's not going to affect your immigration case. So it's one thing to consult with a criminal. I do criminal defense in Alabama. A lot of people get probation. A lot of people get deferred prosecution. If you do something and dismiss it, deferred prosecution can still affect your immigration case, even though it ends up being dismissed. So you just never know. It's always best to talk to an immigration attorney in addition to a criminal, especially if the criminal defense attorney does not practice immigration. So just, that's all I can offer you. Okay. All right, people. So My girls support me very well. Finest Shandy, Miss Avena, and the Sanctuary. So tonight, what I'm going to do is Finest Shandy. Whoever you want, it can be anyone that joins us here or someone you know, whoever you want. Courtesy of Finest Shandy, they will they will get a free 30-minute consultation. One person, that's it, not like two people in one. It's not going to happen. And I guess sometimes people will say, oh, well, I have my friend here, she has the same issue with me. No, it's not going to happen. If you're well, I won't spend more than 15 minutes. Oh well, I don't do two people consultation in 30 minutes. But Finest Shandy, giveaway tonight is to Finest Shandy to give someone a free 30-minute consultation for supporting and driving all the Trump supporters off. When can I file for my citizenship? If I get my green card through vow, married to a citizen, I already divorced a citizen and ready to remarry, when can I also file for my new spouse? If you got your green card through VAWA and the abusive spouse is a citizen, you are eligible to apply for citizenship 3 years from the date of your green card. Whether or not you're still married to the citizen spouse, you're good. So in your case, you're divorced from them, but you still qualify to file for citizenship. 3 years, green card will have resident since date. So 3 years from now, 90 days before the 3rd year anniversary. So you're good to file for citizenship at that point. Yeah, no 2 in 1. No 2 in 1. But anyway, listen, all well and good. We just thank God that even if there is a benefit to the current administration as far as releasing this new immigration policy now, it would have been really nice if more people were included, because the truth of the matter is there are millions of immigrants who actually came in legally than there are those who came in without inspection. So it would have been great to have an option for those who came in legally and some kind of work in place, something. You just never know. But at least we'll just take what we have. So let's just keep staying prayerful and hoping that things will continue to fall in place for us. There's so many of us in this country that just want. I'm telling you, Nigeria is one of those countries that deserves TPS at this point, but it is what it is. There will always find people like that who think, they come in to stop by things and they want to bring some negativity and tell people to go back to where they're coming from. When people, as an immigration attorney, you can imagine I get all kind of craziness. And for me, it was like, well, if I'm going back to my country where I'm from, then you need to find, at least I know the country I'm from. Y'all might not even know what part of Europe you came from because they have lied to you. But you can't let the misery of people like that get to you. You just stay focused and keep going. And I pray that one day all of us will find that stability, that solace, that finality that we all need to have just that stable mind, especially because most of us have children. We look forward to being able to stay here and be able to travel out and not feel stuck. And it's just a matter of time. I know that each and every one of us, God is going to meet us at a point of needs, and just be hopeful. And as we come together each and every time to speak positively in our lives, to speak victory, to speak goodness and abundance and success, it goes around. That's one thing you have to understand. It goes around. So as long as your heart is open to receive that, just stay in the spirit and in the place of expectation. And God willing, He's not going to disappoint us, because at the end of the day, God would always remain undefeated. And if He remains undefeated, that means that I refuse to lose hope. So please join me in refusing to lose hope, remembering that God cannot be defeated. I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Bye, everybody.